Welcome into Double Nickel. Hey, if you've been following along with me, you know how important time on the trail is, how much it matters to me to be able to spend time in the great outdoors. And I can plan to continue doing that into retirement that will begin in 2027 if things work out. And part of that plan will involve a whole lot of hiking. So today I want to talk to you about some transition that I'm going through with equipment. Some of it's going to stay the same, but certainly some of it's going to change. Well, for years I have chosen the smaller, lighter backpack just because it was less bulky. And that's been my reasoning. But after 3 back surgeries and turning 55 and feeling my body wear down as I get a little bit older, I'm realizing that comfort and weight distribution, they matter more than looking sleek and trim or streamlined on the trail. So today I'm going to start by talking to you about the evolution of my backpack use. For a long time now, I've been using this simple little North Face Jester backpack. And if you know anything about outdoor hiking, you immediately recognize this is not intended or designed to be an outdoor backpack. It's more of an urban setup, an urban carry pack that most people use for computers and tablets and things like that. It was my son's backpack in high school, if that tells you anything. But when he moved on into college and this came available, as I was getting more and more involved with hiking, I said, hey, that'll work for me. And so I've been using it for several years now, and this pack probably had way over 100 miles, probably way over 200 miles of hike on it. And it served the purpose quite well. It's done the job. Some things that I don't like about this pack, the back is just this flat, solid piece that fits against you. It's pretty wide. Laterally, and it gets really hot on the trail. It gets wet. Your shirt, of course, gets wet when you're sweating, and it takes a while to cool off. That almost never dries out on the trail, and so I didn't like that about it. Of course, it has some capacity limitations, but so far it has served the purpose. I didn't really see any need in going out and spending extra money on a small pack to use on the trail. But as I'm getting older and starting to think more about being prepared on trails should something happen, having a little bit of emergency equipment with me, things I'll talk about on another episode probably. The need to have a little bit more water than probably I typically have been carrying, things like that, changes of clothes, some more socks. I need just a little bit more space, and decided it's time to transition to a different pack. It's funny because the pack I'm going to transition to I've actually had for years. My wife purchased this for me in 2000, I think 8. This is the one that I'm going to start using. It's much taller, but cool thing is it's really not as wide left and right. So I do like that about it. It's just barely heavier, amazingly, than this just urban simple backpack. So it's very lightweight. Has a couple of bars in it for support purposes. What really is the main win for this backpack, for me anyway, is that you can see it has this waist belt so that you can buckle around yourself, and these hip pads to support the weight is what that really is going to do, and take the weight off of the shoulders and put it on your hips. And for someone who has had back surgeries, that's going to mean a lot. That's going to help me quite a bit. One of my pain points on trail is the pain and the discomfort that sometimes I experience when we're carrying water and some food, some other supplies with us. If it gets very heavy at all, if the trail's very long, this pack begins to pull on my shoulders. It does have a chest strap to keep the shoulder straps together, just like this one does. But still, it rides all the weight up on your shoulders. I've had a fusion in my cervical area of my neck, and so that gets uncomfortable. I also have had lower lumbar fusion and another surgery. So taking care of my back is super important, and thinking about all the miles that I plan to hike in the future, having the right pack is so important. This was originally going to be for those overnight trekking trips where you take your tent, your sleeping pad, or whatever you're going to carry in with you, and your food, really everything to spend a night or something. I even was bold enough to think maybe a couple of nights on trail. That never actually happened. Different reasons for that, mostly my neglect, I'd say. So this pack has never been broken out or used on trail, so it's about to be. So that's the first thing. I'm making a transition. I want to get the weight on my hips and get it off my shoulders. I think that will help a lot. I'm thinking differently about load management now as I'm getting a little bit older, and thinking about comfort on trail. So as I'm going forward on future hikes, it's going to be important to me to continue to take care of my body and continue having some comfort. Those miles from the parking lot begin to wear on you. You begin to feel them when you have that other pack, for me anyway. And I'm certainly optimistic that this other pack is going to help with that and create some more endurance for me. So that's the main change. There's another thing that I want to share with you. It's another gift from my wife that I just got for my 55th birthday. I took it as an invitation, you know, and a green light from her to keep on hiking. I'm not sure that's how she meant it. And it's these trekking poles. They're fantastic. You pull them out and extend them until this clip pops. You lock them down, and there you go. Got a good handle on it. These are fantastic for a lot of reasons. They give you some stability on descents. I've used trekking poles for a while now, a few years, but when I was younger, I would have never used them. Would have felt like I don't need those things. The last probably decade, I've really started using trekking poles. I've worn out a set, so that's why I got these new ones. They're great to help with descents and keep your footing sure and certain on your way down. Believe it or not, that's when most of the trouble occurs, on the way down. They also reduce impact as you're able to use some weight distribution onto the poles and keep them off your knees and ankles as you're coming down. You're able to bear some of the weight with your arms when you're having those big steps down. They give you more confidence on an uneven surface when you have some trekking poles. So they're really a lot of good. The one thing I so love about this particular set of trekking poles that she bought me is built into this is a little bit of a shock absorber. Now it's not going to move inches, but there's a little bit of a give. I'm not going to try to exert myself now and show it to you, but when you're applying your body weight down onto this pole, you can feel it give just a little bit. It's kind of got a little bit of a spring in it. So these poles are awesome for somebody who needs a little extra support out on the trail. Again, younger folks are probably already laughing at my backpack setup that I'm going to be moving to. Probably both of them. The one I've been using that was a high school backpack, and then my new one that has that waist belt. But you do what you need to do, right? And these poles that have the shock absorber in them, they are truly lifesavers, and I really appreciate her getting these for me as we enter into double nickel phase. One other area of gear, one other thing that's important when you're thinking about getting yourself set up to be out on the trail, you need the right pack. I strongly encourage you, if you're going to get out and spend some time on trail, you get a good pack that puts the weight on your hips. Get you some trekking poles. They don't have to have the shock absorbers in them. They can be the most basic kind of trekking pole. It can be a walking stick if that's what you have. But get yourself something to allow yourself to have some more confidence, another point of contact, another way to distribute your weight and get it off of your back and your knees and your ankles a little bit. Another thing is footwear. I wear these hiking shoes. Now this has been something I've been into for several years. It's not necessarily just about turning 55, but it's become more and more important. I had just some regular hiking shoes that didn't have this part that was high heel that come up around my heel, or my ankle, excuse me. But I chose these to get that extra ankle support. And that has become very important as you get fatigued out on trail and you're on those rocks. If you're bouldering a little bit, you're stepping over things, and the ground's uneven, the surface is uneven. It's so easy when your leg starts to get tired, your feet and your ankles start to get tired, to roll an ankle. And you talk about a bad situation, especially if you're miles from the parking lot, from the trailhead, and you roll an ankle. I keep an ace bandage, and I got some knee braces and an ankle brace that I can keep with me on trail. But I'd love to prevent that from happening to start with. So I keep my low ankle shoes with me as just an extra pair of shoes on trail. But these are the ones I prefer to hike with now to protect my ankle. Now, whatever shoe you go with, whether it has a high ankle or not, please make sure you've got some really good grip on them. I love these shoes. This is Merrell shoes. There's plenty of good brands, but make sure you have a really good grip on the bottom of the shoe. And this is a little bit soft. You want it to feel just a little bit soft. That way it's kind of pliable when you're grabbing onto that rock or that uneven piece of ground. You want this to sort of mold around to get a good grip on a rock especially if it's on a slant, on a descent. Another thing that I did, and I would strongly encourage you to do, is I spent a little bit of money and got these little insoles to add to some cushion to this. That helps so much. The ones that come in these shoes are just flat on the bottom, and this has a little bit of a heel cushion built into this insole, and so that has provided me some additional cushion and support for my joints, my ankles and my knees, my hips, and of course my back. That's all important as I get a little bit older and I spend time out on trail. So those are some things that I would encourage you to think about as you hopefully are like me and planning to spend time out on trail. Maybe you already are a pro, you don't need any of this, but if you're a first timer, or if you're just thinking about getting outdoors, you've just done a little bit of amateur trailing and hiking, and you want to get yourself set up a little bit more for spending more time outside, these are some things I would encourage you to do. Get yourself a backpack, like I said, that puts the weight on your hips. That helps so much. You just can't imagine. I haven't hiked with it, so you're saying, how do I know? Well, I've tested a little bit around the place, and I can tell a major difference just carrying it around with a few things in it, just for a test. Get yourself some trekking poles. Some poles are so crucial to maintain your balance and prevent a fall and an injury. And then make sure you got shoes that have fantastic grip. A slip is your enemy out there. Have certain footing matters. Just get the kind that goes up over the ankle and try to prevent that rolled ankle. Go ahead and make that investment. You're going to spend time out on the trail. Anyway, I wanted to share these things with you. What's changed for me, what I've learned over a bunch of years of hiking, some things that are going to stay the same. I'm going to continue to use poles. I'm going to continue to use that good footwear. I'm going to protect my ankles. I'm going to get the weight on my hips and try to take care of my body as long as I can, so I can spend all that double nickel time that's available to me in the future. I want to be able to respond as the mountains are calling. I must go, and I want to be able to respond to that for as long as possible. Well, hey, until next time, we'll see where double nickel takes us.